Hello and welcome to another video about IBMI rpgle. Today I'd like to talk about the omit and nopass parameter options. Let's go. As always, I'm in VS Code using the Code for IBMI extension. I have created this simple program. It does nothing, just I have the basic structure of the program. Let's talk about these two options that can be used with the parameters, not only with program parameters, also we can use them with the procedure parameters. In fact, for this example, I will create a subprocedure to show you how they work. So let's create the procedure. And this procedure is going to have this entry. It is going to return an indicator, and we're going to have three parameters. Field 1, that is going to be a constant. So this means that you cannot change the value of this field inside the procedure. And also you can call to this procedure with a constant. It is not necessary to use a variable, okay? And I'm going to add these two options for this parameter, omit and nopass. Later we will see that it is not necessary to add the two options for one parameter, okay? That you can use one or the other, okay? Let's create the second one, and it's going to be the same. And I'm going to create a third one. And it is not going to be a constant. It is going to be an input and output parameter, okay? And it's in this case, this is going to be a nopass. Okay. Well, let's talk about the two options. The option omit, it means that this parameter can be used, can be passed or not. Okay, you can pass it or you can omit it. Okay, the way for omit a parameter is to call the procedure with this word. Okay, we will see it later. If we need to work with nopass, we will need to use this word parms, and if in this case, if parms is more than 0, that means that I have more than 0 parameters. Okay, so if it is true, let's see if this parameter is passed or it is omit. And how can I see it? Well, the way for see if the parameter is omit or not is to see if it is null or not. If it is not null, then let's make a simple check. If field 1 is equal to 0, return on. Okay. And if let's declare here result indicator, and let's do this better. Result is equal to 1. Okay. And after all, I will return result. So this means that if I have more than 0 parameters, I'm checking if that parameter is omitted or not. And if it is not omitted, I'm checking if it is 0 or not. And in that case, I will return on. Okay. Let's see what happens with the second parameter. It is the same. If parms is more than 1, well, in this case, for example, we are going to check if the first parameter is equal to the second one. Okay. For that, I need to check if the two first parameters cannot be omitted. Okay. If address this of field 1 is null, or address of field 2 is null, then the result is off. And if field 1 is equal to field 2, then the result is on. Okay, and let's talk about the third parameter. In this case, is nopass parameter. Okay, so if bourne is more than 2, then I'm going to return in field 3 field 1 plus field 2. Okay, field 3 is equal to field 1 plus field 2, and the result is on. Okay, well, you see, I have created this procedure using these two options. Okay, so I can call it in different ways, and depending on the parameters, it will do one thing or another. Okay, for example, let's go to the main procedure, and for example, if procedure, I'm not going to pass anything, then result true, else result false. How will it work? Well, as I'm not passing any parameter, then it will not enter here, it will not enter here, it will not enter here. So the result is going to be off. Okay, so it will always enter here. Okay, imagine that I want to omit the first parameter. Okay, the way for doing that is this, omit. So in that case, it will enter here because the parameter is omitted, but it is a parameter. So I have more than 0 parameters. So it will enter here, and it will not enter here because the address of the field 1 will be null. Okay, so the result will be false. If procedure 0, then, well, let's copy this better. In this case, it will enter here, and it will enter here, and it will compare 0 with 0, and it will result on. Okay. Other thing that I can do is this: 5, 5. What happened in this case? Well, in this case, it will enter here, yes, and the result will be on, but it will also enter here, and it will compare, as the field 1 and field 2 is not null, it will compare if field 1 and field 2 is equal, and it will return on. Okay, so this is going to be the result. We can change this and do this. Less than 2, or we can do this. Okay, and in this case I can do this, and in this case I can do this, or better, I can make a select. Okay. Okay, and now let's test the third parameter. For example, in this case, I will need to declare a variable result, for example, and okay, so it will work this way. It will enter here, and it will return in this field, in field number 3. It will return the sum of the two fields. Okay, so in this case, let me write the result is result. Okay, let's try to compile it. Oops. Let's try again. Okay, and let's test it. Okay, let's go here and let's call the program. Well, as you see, the first thing I'm going to do, let's make it greater. It's going to do the procedure with no parameter. Okay, so it is going to check the number. It is going to check the number of parameter, and as it is not 1, not 2 or 3, it will return off. Okay, so it will write this to the job log. Okay, let's try what happened with omit. In this case, as param is equal to 1, it is going to check if it is null or not. As you see, field 1 is not passed, so it is null. So as it is null, it is going to return off, and it will write this to the job log. Let's try again with one parameter with the value of 0. And in this case, it will enter here again, and in this case, this is not null, and it is going to compare field 1 with 0, and as it is equal, it is going to return on. In this case, I have two parameters. The two parameters has been passed, and they are equal, so it is returning on. And in the last case, I have three parameters, and field 3 is going to be field 1 plus field 2. Result is on, and in that case, it is writing this to the job log. So if I see the job log, the result is 7, 5 plus 2. Okay, so this is an example for using the options omit and nopass while you are writing your parameters in your procedures. Also, they can work in the same way when you are writing parameters in your programs. So you can use them in the same way. Okay. I hope you liked this video. Thanks for watching.